Okay guys, I got a brand new Bass Cat Eyra. This is not a new Eyra, this is a new Eyra. So for the model year 2021, they changed the top cap. They updated it. What they do is they make molds in order to make the fiberglass portions of the bottom and the top, the hull and the cap, and they actually molded a new cap. And there's some really cool new features. I want to show them to you, walk you around this thing. The hull is going to be the same, the Bass Cat Eyra. I've run this boat a number of years. I love the hull. It runs amazing. It runs great. I love the layout and I love the storage, but they made some really cool improvements and some aesthetic changes as well that I want to show you with the new boat. So come on, let's get in this bad boy and take a look. All right, boys and girls, this is the biggest difference right here. This is the back deck layout right here. A lot of upgrades, if you're familiar with the previous Eyra models, you can see there's a lot of differences here. I'm gonna start with the live wells. The live wells, look how big. They increased the size of the lid and the opening. So the live well size, those things are huge, man. They're monstrous. But the door opening and this opening, much bigger, much easier to get those big giant bass out of, but they had smaller, little smaller holes. That is one of the big upgrades. This is probably the coolest upgrade. This rear box design is different. This also has a bigger hole, so it's easier to get your stuff in and out of there. I haven't even put my stuff in this boat yet. You can get your stuff in and out easier because that's a bigger hole there. But the coolest part, I'll leave that open, is this little small opening right here, and it's got this little tray, so you could put, you know, some packing nabs or whatever you wanted to put in there. I don't know, D-bombs maybe. Throw those in there. But this is a little hole, and you can get right to your power pole pumps, and you can get right to your live well screens. So if I want to, if my live well screens are starting to get a little clogged up, I can just reach in there real quickly, clean them out, put them right back in there, and get back to fishing. Take just a couple seconds, and you can do that real quickly. Plus, if you have any issues with your power poles, it's real easy to get to those pumps as well. That is to me, that is just like super slick right there, super easy to get to. And then, of course, the two back panels are the same on here. You know, you can just take these off if you're working on the boat back there. Got my big Lithium Pros battery back there. You can see the gas tank. Got my power pole charge over there. I've already rigged my boat maybe halfway. I've got a lot of the guts that are done in here, but not everything's done. Like I said, this was on the old Eyra, but they definitely kept that. I would have been super upset. But most of the Bass Cat models have those big lids, and this one comes off as well. Both sides come off, so you can really get to everything very easily, clean all that. Gas tanks, and this whole area is basically the same, except for they upgraded the handles. You got these new super strong aluminum handles there. Same thing on this side. These two sides are the same. Then when we go down to the seat box, I'm gonna show you some big differences here as well. Okay, so here we are with the new seat box. Now you might, you first glance here and you don't really see any big differences, but other than these giant holes in the side of the boat. But like I said, still rigging the boat. I've got my Lowrance Sonic hub to put in and put the speakers in there. Luckily, Bass Cat was nice enough to cut my holes for me. I had fun cutting them last year, but a little easier if they go ahead and do that. But what I mean by a new seat box is on the previous Eyra model, they had this seat box was it was set in there separately. So there was the top cap, and then this seat box was set in, and then it had some screws that would go in there. It functioned fine. The reason that Bass Cat did that before is because they were going to put the air ride seats into that previous model Eyra, which they did not do. The cost was just ridiculous, and they didn't want to, you know, jack the price of the Eyra up just to have those airsoft seats. The boat rides great anyway. I didn't think they need it. I think these seats, I love the seats. They wrap around. They're very comfortable. They're very very strong too. Like, they don't flex or anything. I like that part of it as well, as far as the back and everything. So that part of it I really like. But what they did with this now, the seat box is all part, like the cap and the seat box are all one unit. Like, this is just one unit. You know, it goes from the whole cap, the whole seat box. There's nothing added on. There's nothing put in there. Still got the same cooler in the middle. This is an option. You can get a carpeted flip up deal. I like the fiberglass one because it's got the handle here for your partner. And then it's got the same type under seat storage. I've already got all my tools under here. And just one small difference is the opening for the bottom of the seat storage. The opening is a smidge smaller, but these boxes are now carpeted. So what's under this seat and under this seat, they're carpeted. So if you're putting stuff in there, you don't have to worry about it banging around on that fiberglass like it kind of was before. So that's a big deal. The tool department, I put some tools and ropes and stuff in this little section right there. That's the same as the previous model. But and then they also added cup holders on either side of the base of where the seat box was. They put cup holders there, very, very convenient. And then, you know, under seat, the dash is the same, the step is the same. And over here with the glove box, they do not add the glove box anymore because the cost was prohibitive. They were going to have to continue to pass additional cost on, Bascat that is, additional cost of the glove box, because that little aluminum box, it cost them a lot of money. I think it was, you know, I don't know, almost $100 just for the cost of that. So I would rather not be nickel and dimed, because they had a lot of people that actually took them off and don't use them. I used it, but I'm going to find a different function for that. So that probably will be part of a later video. But then on the front is very, very similar. We'll just take a quick look at the layout, and I'll show you that too. Okay, so up front, up here, there really, from what I can tell, there are no differences on the front deck. You still have your rod lockers, huge storage in there. I mean, huge. You can get 30 rods in one rod locker. I usually put a bunch in one and a bunch in the other, and I use this one over here for storage, and then I'll put over here on this side. I've only got a couple rods in there just because I was breaking the boat in. Again, I'm still, you know, still got a lot of rigging to do, but you can put a ton of tackle in the bottom under your rods if you would like. I do that some, but then they've got these coffin lids, which I love. This is one of my favorite features about the Eyra. You got these long lids here, so you can sit there and then open this box. And then the initial Eyras had had two long coffin lids. And I like that. And then Rick changed it and put in this day box up here, so it was only a half a box, and then you had the day box up here. Well, after I fished with the day box a year, I loved it. And so now I'm glad that they split this compartment right here, and you can put your stuff there, and you have your day box up there for whatever you're using, quickly throughout the day. That is that day box is very, very functional. I love having that. The front is the same. It's got the piece where you can bring the foot pedal back a little bit more. Again, I have not finished all my rigging on the front of this boat. I've got one Lowrance unit up there, and on this one I'm gonna have a Humminbird and a Garmin. I'm gonna have all three of them up there, and I've got my layout. I'm just waiting for the mounts to come in. I've got 360 and everything, so you can definitely have 2 or 3 depth finders, 12-inch depth finders up on the front of this big Bascat Eyra, and have enough room to do it all. So once that's all done, once the boat's all rigged, I'll give you a full walkthrough of the boat. But I just really wanted to show you these cool differences, and that back deck layout is hands down my favorite favorite part of it. So if you have any other questions, you want to see anything additional with this Basset Cat Eyra, be sure to hit it down there in the comments. Let me know. I want to hear about it. I want to know, what did you see that you liked? Did you see anything that else that you wanted to see in there that's not in this boat? Basset Cat, they listen. They listen to their people, and that's where a lot of these changes came from. Were from dealers that worked on the boats. I can promise you a lot of those back deck changes were from dealers that wanted to have it more efficient to work on in the back of this boat. I don't think that there's a more easy boat to work on from a rigging standpoint than the Eyra. I'm talking all brands. So so this boat is one of the reasons I love that. But again, hit it down there in the comments if you have any questions. I'll be sure to try to answer them as much as possible. Or if you want to see any additional videos, be sure to hit them down there in the comments. And again, thank you for watching.